I canceled at least 2 videos tonight, and the conclusion I've come to is there comes a point where sometimes it's better to sing something as opposed to, Yeah, with that said, I'm just gonna close the night out by playing the guitar, and, it'll help me feel better about this, overall attempt to make a hobby of this. I'm just gonna adjust this. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from the cold steel rail? Smile from the frail. So you think you can tell? Did they get you to change? I don't know whether that lyric was trade or change, but fuck it. I know the next lyric. You know what? I said I was going to start, or finish another video with the chorus. So I'm just gonna save face and finish with the chorus here. How I wish you were here. We just two of our souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm the type of person where that was just a wrong chord. I was supposed to hit a C instead of an A minor. As much as it would be, I wouldn't even say my best interest. It was just to maybe what I'm trying to say is this: if I don't feel like singing or playing my guitar, I'm not gonna say that I know how to sing and play my guitar. Let's just say I know how to play my guitar more so than I know how to sing. But or maybe not know the difference between a C or A minor. It's been a while since I've really picked up my guitar, to be quite honest. But yeah, I'll just end it with this. Maybe this whole YouTube webcam recording, there'll come a point where I don't practice on here, but maybe I can practice a song, and when I feel it's ready enough to be the same way I would sort of play it, and try to make money doing it, I would maybe make a YouTube video, and I would even be vain enough to try to monetize that video, only because right now, oh shit, I just realized I gotta take out the garbage. Right now, I was asking myself the question on Twitter whether I should set aside the bottles and the Budweiser cans to go collect the bottle deposit. So yeah, I mean, obviously if I'm entertaining that idea, and I'm not gonna lie, I've done it many times in the past, you can see why I'd be vain enough to perform a song. And okay, I'll be truthful with you, I'm not gonna see a video and tell myself, okay, I could have done better with that. I mean, I'm not gonna, if I think I've performed something to the best of my ability, yeah, I'm going to hit that monetization button on top of bringing these cans of Budweiser and 7 Up to the supermarket, because right now my financial situation, um, I mean, I have to say that like this money I do accumulate can support my weed habit. I will say that I will be taking a trip to Washington D.C. In 2 days to do just that. No, I'm doing it because they just legalized it, and it's a 4.5 hour bus ticket. But yeah, sometime in the future I could sort of like use the money I get from bottle deposits or YouTube, Google AdSense revenue to help get my mother and grandmother, give them a gift for Mother's Day, as well as like their birthday. My grandmother's birthday was yesterday, and Mother's Day is on the 10th. So yeah, times like that, there's things that, I mean, I really want to take my mom to see one of Mom and Mia's last performances, and I was gonna really get on a tangent on ABBA and how that going to the museum in Stockholm wasn't an option in my first trip to the city a couple of months ago. But I'm not going to rule it out. To be quite honest, now that the show is ending, I know like the longer I wait to like perhaps get a ticket, if that's what I'm going to do, then fuck it. I'll just do that for my mom for Mother's Day. So yeah, it might actually be reckless spending now that I think twice upon it. Another video I talked about, as much as I want to really part ways with, if not like, where I'm living right now in Florida, just my particular, like, it's only a matter of time until, like, not to say that the shit hasn't hit the fan already, because it already has, but I don't want to get, okay, yeah, that's what I want to say. I don't want it to get to a breaking point where, I mean, like, things have happened where I'm calling my parents and saying, like, I really want to, like, have nothing to do with this place anymore. The first thing I'm going to say is, like, this is something that this is a conversation that you've had in the past. And, like, there's times like right now I should have been really, taking steps to remedy not the situation, but taking myself out of that situation. But right now I'm just basically, I mean, I can make like plans until it's hard to like execute something if you don't have the finances to back it up. And I'm not saying that like if I wanted to relocate all my stuff from Florida, I can do it, but I already got things tied up in other stuff, other things, and I don't want to repeat like anything else, but anything I've said in other videos. But right now it's just like I'm leaving, and right now it's the 5th. I'm leaving in 8 days to go back there, and since like 2003, I haven't felt this, like, these feelings returning to North Carolina. And I axed some of the videos, or not axed, but like deleted some of the videos I started recording, only because of like things I started to bring up that I wasn't really ready to sort of talk about. But yeah, what I was trying to say is I would have to look back, I would say 12 years ago, to think of a flight that I didn't really want to take, leaving home, finishing up my first year of school. But yeah, I wanted to hit stop recording after I said that right there. But maybe maybe this might transition into something else that becomes a money making opportunity. this, I mean, even if there was like any sort of like hope of, you know, that playing a major role as far as like, having the finances in place to really um, leave, Gainesville, Florida. But um, I'm just going to. Oh shit. Okay, I'm ending this video on 420. I don't have any weed to smoke. Um, but in 2 days I probably will. But yeah, 420 is a good time to end this video. It's 10:35. But yeah, it's 420 in New York City right now, and maybe I should. Yeah, that's really one thing I should sort of like look at as a high note. If I did have weed to smoke, then that may not be a good thing. I I have to reflect upon, like, even if that that overdose didn't happen to me last year on my birthday, um, like anyone who sort of uses recreational drugs and sort of doesn't have like a mindset or a healthy brain to like tell them maybe they need to stop. Um, all they know is they feel like shit, and the one thing that really picks them up. So yeah, it's hard for me to like talking with a woman. I met a lot of intelligent people. I'll just say it. I've met some Christians in Florida. I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I don't identify myself as atheist or agnostic or someone who basically you know worships pagans. But I had like a similar sort of I've been in this mind state at least once where um like I'm in a church setting and people are being called up to prayer. There's times where they came to me. This one night I could remember particularly, and that was the start of like something that was starting to develop good at downloading Christian songs and seeing change in my life. And then long story short, like shit hit the fan to the point where now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm still listening to these Christian radio stations, but it serves a better benefit for me now, as opposed to when I felt things were going okay, things like all those things like they may say God has in store for you, all those plans of like taking you out of your situation and being where you want to be. What I was trying to say earlier was that I told this woman like the reason why most of the time I don't go up to churches where they don't do the altar calls. Oh, by the way, I totally didn't expect this to be any sort of like Christian building like experience blog, or at least with this particular video. But what I told her was that the reason why like I don't go up to the altar is because I might know like in my head that I'm going to sin, and I felt this way more than once. Like perfect example, um, like I knew I was going to go to Amsterdam. I know I'm going to go to Washington D.C. in 2 days, and what am I going to do once I get there? I'm going to I don't even know like if they have dispensaries or if I just have to take my chances like getting burned on like someone I don't know, or may even like find myself in a dangerous situation. But more or less I'm actually concerned with just getting some like swag weed, or like in Lisbon, Portugal, they actually sold me like literally tea. um that's a story I'll say for another day. But yeah, it's kind of hard to really like make that like commitment, and then knowing, not even if it's just for like your religion, because there's a lot of like people like doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, like people who just like like don't believe in anything beyond what's in the science textbook. But I mean, even those people like have enough sense to know, or at least not everybody. I actually have a friend, or I mean, I haven't really touched bases with him, but I had a friend who was a doctor, and he was a little more liberal. But I mean, they know enough that either like they grew up, you know, not sheltered, but they, like the dude that I stayed with in Toulouse, France, who never smoked marijuana in his life. They have enough of an understanding where if you like, do drugs, it'll destroy your life. And there's sort of a spectrum there between. I mean, I have my best friend who lives in Florida now. I mean, he smokes. He didn't really become a pothead until he got to Florida. But I tried to offer him acid. He wouldn't take it. Like there's people like my brother who, well, my brother, he's kind of not the best example, but everybody knows everybody knows a pothead who doesn't like touch other drugs. Anyway, right now, I've gotten to the point where I've been talking to the point where I would need like something to drink next to me, and right now my voice is raspy. I've but at least from all the other videos that I recorded tonight and deleted, this one I'm sort of a little more proud of, as far as like maybe if if I like proclaim that like, okay, I used to like have these videos of me in Fantasy Fest and pictures of me licking or simulating oral sex on a woman, or on a naked woman in this case. And now I'm starting this blog to really like build myself and really sort of go from point A to point B, and where I want to be in my spiritual walk. If it's for that reason alone, then maybe I'll have a better time sort of making sense of things, as opposed to balancing what I'm going to do in DC and everything associated with it, and then wondering why my finances are out of order. Or I mean, I just use that as an example, but just it's one thing to make an example of a video that might be like some of like the reason why you don't go on YouTube. Let's just put it that way. It's just the person who made it for whatever reasons, and anyone else who's watching it just got a big question mark on top of their head. And right now, that's where I see I mean, not just this video, but that's what I see any other video that I make tonight, or any other sort of okay, speaking of this particular video right here, it's going on 19 minutes, and it's going to like at any point disconnect, just like a few quality videos. When I say quality, I mean videos that I pushed, save and publish, and didn't really have any reservations about putting out there. So right now it's 5 a.m. and if I accomplish one mission tonight, is to like stay up all night as opposed to go to sleep, to really execute something that I have planned that's important. Or not, I won't say going to see Aida, a production of Aida off Broadway. And I don't mean off Broadway as in Manhattan, I mean like Jamaica, Queens. I just like say it's important for me to do something for my grandmother. It feels like I owe her something. She's given me $200 birthday gifts. She's brought me 56K external modems when they were over $200. back when everybody had America Online. So, yeah, I'll pat myself on the back of, like, staying up all night and, like, doing something, productive, because this could have easily been, um, okay, I know what I was gonna say. I just didn't want to say it. I'll just say, unproductive use of time on my computer, whichever shade of gray you want to look at that as. Um, I'm not gonna really sugarcoat it. That reference I made to that one girl on YouTube. There was two girls on YouTube. Well, one more so than the other. The other girl on YouTube with the mascara. Um, I could see, not that that's my cup of tea, but I could see how, you know, people did sort of, yeah, I don't even want to say like what, the action. But the action I'm going to take right now is hit stop record. And shit, this video really hit over 21 minutes. And after I'm done with this, I'm going to say exactly the allotted time I do have for making videos. But yeah, I could talk more on a doctor whose wife fucked me out of some money. Oh, actually, I can mention him by name, or I could at least point to his videos. I actually created his account. I wouldn't have any issue, like, pointing out his wife who fucked me out of money. But yeah, it's, if you gotta practice out of Murray Hill, charging patients $300 an hour, yeah, maybe you should advise them, if you make videos on YouTube, that might be like a cheaper option. I just, total separate segue, I learned about this sex worker who, I learned someone may pay for an hour, someone may pay for 2 hours, but like, they're spending like an hour talking to them, and she's basically at the point where it's just like, okay, are you going to go for another hour? And she stopped doing it because she can't, unlike what professionals are trained for, she became attached to some of these people, these husbands, these people who just needed someone to talk to. And I don't know, we're living in the age now where people look at the webcams to talk to, and right now I'm ready to stop. But the whole thing about that psychologist's wife, yeah, I don't know, I might just take the high road on that one. But yeah, it's pretty tired. I wasn't tired, I wasn't like ready to go to bed earlier, but now I'm sort of like, I gotta do things to sort of like keep me awake. I'm about to make some coffee right now, and do anything else I can think of. The real bitch is going to be like that 2.5 hour play of Aida. I'm probably going to want to go to sleep as opposed to not waste the $20 I paid for my ticket. But I'm not even the type of person who would could knock out everything he has to do and take a cat nap and just like have my mom wake me up to let me know it's time for it's time for you know what time it is. It's time for me to end this fucking video. Peace.